Hello and welcome to episode number 2 of this Code Wars series. You guys know the drill. Today we're going to be looking at this problem in 8Q called invert values. So you guys can quickly read it here. But basically what this problem is if it loads, I can tell you, it's going to give you a list as such of numbers, positive or negative, and it wants you to output the opposite of it, or like the negativified values of that list. So you basically just have to multiply every item in that list by -1 and then output whatever we get. And you guys know I don't really like to use the given workspace here. I like to use my own. I use Visual Studio Code. So let me just paste that. Oh, there we go. So we're going to get a list and we need to invert it. And I've already created this file here and I've got into the directory. That's cool. Let's go for it. So first of all, you may be thinking, okay, we need some way of iterating through that list so we can access each item individually. So you may think of creating a for loop. So like for num in list, and you can do num equals num times -1, and then that's it. And you might think of just returning list. I'm actually not sure if that's gonna work or not. Let's see what happens. Let's test it out. Print invert. Okay, my things are a mess here, my parentheses. So let's pass it 1 2 3 -4 -5, and let's run it here. So Python, and it's called 002 underscore invert.py. So that didn't work. So this didn't work. I'm guessing when it does this, it doesn't actually change the value in that list directly. So what we could do is, you may think, okay, let's create an output list, called out, and just append this num to out. So out.append num and return out. And this should work. There we go. So as you can see, 1 becomes -1, 2 becomes -2, etc., etc. And this works perfectly fine. And I'm sure if I copy it over into here and run examples, yay, we pass all the tests. However, we can actually optimize this quite considerably using the language Python, because Python supports a concept called list comprehensions. And it sounds very complicated, but it's actually very simple. What a list comprehension is that it allows you to create lists very, very easily. And in essence, what we're trying to do in this program is to create this list called out, which is slightly different from the input list. And let me just show you what I mean, rather than just talk about it. So what I could literally just do is create a list called out. And of course, as we do when we create a list, I have these square brackets, and inside it, if let's say I do I'm just gonna write something. I'll explain it later. If I write I for I in list, and then a return out, what do you guys think is going to be outputted by this program? Have a guess, and now let's check. Okay. I for I in list. If you spotted the syntax here, good job. But here we go. It just gives us exactly the items of that given list. So what this does is, it does I in list, so it iterates through that list, and it returns whatever we specify over here. So if I put in -I over here, what it would do is multiply each item by -1 and add it to that list. So there we go. And in fact, we could even make this shorter we really don't need to create this variable. We can simply just return it straight away. So one line to solve the entire problem. And just a little bit more on list comprehensions. Let's just ignore this list for now. And if I just put something in like for I in a range 0 to 100, and let me just change that to I. What it's gonna do is it's just gonna print out, actually have a guess, and you can verify now. It goes from 0 to 99 because it just takes any iterable over here, and you can. So if I put a -I to here, it's going to take this iterable, go through each item inside it, and multiply it by -1. So if you guys ever need to do something like generate a list from 1 to 1,000, don't sit there doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can simply just do a list comprehension, I for I in range, what did I say, 1 to 1,000, 1 to 1,001, of course, because Python takes it like that. So let's just get back to the task at hand. If you write -I for I in, and then I put in the list, or LST, which is our input list, it should produce for us, let me just clear the screen just to make it look nicer. Well, it should give us what we need. I'm just gonna copy and paste this one line of code into here, run the examples again, and it works just as well. And let's just submit that, or okay, attempt it. Cool, we passed all the tests, and let's attempt that finally. I mean, how do I submit it? Submit final, there you go. And happy days, that is 2 more points for us on our way to 1Q. We are still on 8Q. These 8Q problems are fun, but there's a lot more potential in this series. So we're probably gonna be staying on 8Q for just a little bit longer, but we're gonna move into those 6 or to 7, 6, 5, and lower down very, very soon. So thanks for watching this, guys. Hope you learned something. Leave a comment down below if you did. Leave a like if you liked the video. If you have any suggestions for how to improve the series is still very much at its young stage where I'm looking for feedback. Please be sure to tell me. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And until then, keep coding.